Hi guys, it's Just Honest Fiction and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books I want to read in June. Alright guys, so I have 11 books on this list that I plan on reading in June. Most of the books are either fantasy romance or romance. There is a random thriller on here. For some reason in the summer, I really enjoy reading thrillers. I have no idea why that is. But if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post new bookish content. You can also check out my Instagram and Goodreads, both linked down below. With all that out of the way, let's talk about the books I want to read in June. Alright, so starting off with adult fantasy, we have Her Majesty's Royal Coven. I am pretty sure this is going to be the adult fairy loot pick for June, and it sounds really interesting. It's been compared to The Discovery of Witches meets The Craft. The Craft was one of my absolute favorite witchy movies growing up. I was obsessed with it, so I'm very excited to read this book. Apparently it's following a group of adolescents and they're all witches, and that's all I really know, but like I said, I cannot wait to pick this book up. It should be a really good read. Alright, and next up is YA Fantasy, so we have This Vicious Grace. So this is following Alessa, and she has this power that when she marries someone, she's supposed to be able to amplify their magical abilities. Unfortunately, she has tried to marry 3 different people, and all 3 times her partners have died. So her island has decided, or the community of her island has decided, they're going to sacrifice Alessa to stop these demons from invading. So then Alessa joins up with this outcast, and they're trying just to survive. So this is really giving me all the Stars and Teeth vibes. Very similar premise, but I'm very excited to pick this up. This should be, I'm pretty sure, June's Fairy Loot young adult pick, and it should be a really good time. So I'm very much looking forward to reading it. And another YA fantasy that I'm hoping to read in June is Twin Crowns. So this is described as a high-stakes fantasy rom-com, which sounds very unique. I'm very intrigued. And I think this is like a reimagining of The Princess and the Pauper, where one twin sister is raised as royalty and the other one's trying to steal the crown. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be part of the Fairy Loot June box as the additional book. And I've seen really good things on Goodreads. So I'm very interested, and hopefully that will be read this month. Alright, the next 2 books on this list are both fantasy romance. I've been wanting to pick both these books up for so long. However, I was waiting for the audiobooks to come out, and both these audiobooks are releasing in June. So first up, we have What Lies Beyond the Veil, and this is by Harper L. Woods. Everyone I know seems to be loving this book right now. So everyone on Bookstagram and TikTok are saying this is so much fun. So I believe the Fae are actually evil in this. And we're following a main character that lives in this world that a veil separates them from the Fae world. And when this veil shatters, the Fae come and they're trying to hunt these humans. And apparently this is super spicy and really good. And I cannot wait to jump into this one. All right, and then next up we have a King So Cold, and this is by Elle Fields. So one of my friends on Bookstagram has been telling me to read this book for months. However, I was waiting for the audiobook to come out. It is finally coming out in June. So this is following a girl that has just been betrayed by everyone she loves. Her father has betrayed her. Something happened with her husband. I'm not exactly sure what, but she ended up being upset enough that she locks him in a dungeon. So she is ruling completely by herself. And then war ends up coming to her lands. I think they're invaded, and it goes from there. So I am so looking forward to reading this. I have read other books by Elle Fields, and I wasn't a huge fan of them, so I'm a little bit worried. But I've heard such amazing things, so this should be a very good read. Alright, so moving into romance, I plan on reading Drive by Kate Stewart. So honestly, I have no idea what this book is about. However, I loved the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart. It's one of my favorite contemporary romance series, worth all of the hype. So I'm in the middle of currently reading Someone Else's Ocean, which is a more emotional contemporary romance, but also done very well. I really like Kate Stewart's writing, and a lot of people have said that if you enjoy Kate Stewart, you should definitely check out Drive by her. So I plan on doing that at some point in June. Honestly, it's probably going to be the next book I read, so I'm very much looking forward to reading it. And then next up, I want to read Lilac, and this is by B.B. Reid. I actually have a book shopping blog where I purchased this. I'll leave in the cards in the description. But this is apparently banned reverse harem. It has such interesting reviews. People seem to either really love this or really hate it. So I'm very intrigued. It is pretty chunky, so I've been putting off reading it. However, June, I feel like I have more time to read because my school's done. So we will see, but I am very excited to jump into this one. And next up, I plan on reading The Words. So I feel like this book kind of popped up out of nowhere. Suddenly, I'm seeing it all over my Bookstagram. I think this is like enemies to lovers, but also second chance romance. One of my friends on Bookstagram was putting on her stories like as she was reading every 3 chapters, and it just seems like a crazy ride. So let me know in the comments if you've actually read this book already, because I am so intrigued and I will definitely be reading it in early June. All right, and next up we have Love Unexpected, and this is by QB Tyler. So I've been wanting to pick up QB Tyler for a while. A lot of the romance booktubers I follow really enjoy QB Tyler's work, and this one just sounded really interesting. So this is a stepfather relationship romance. I don't think I've ever read anything like that. Torn by Carrie and Cole kind of had that feel, but it was like Godfather. So yeah, we will see. This might be a little too taboo for me, but still I'm really interested and cannot wait to pick it up. Next up, we have The Good Girl Complex, and this is by Elle Kennedy. So I've really enjoyed most of the books I read by Elle Kennedy. This is about a girl who really likes to play it safe. She doesn't like to break the rules, and she ends up moving to this beachside town where she meets Cooper, who is like a resident bad boy, and they end up hitting it off and have a romantic relationship. So it just sounds like a really fun, beachy rom-com, which is something I would love to read in the summer. So I'm very excited to pick it up. All right, and last up is the random thriller I was talking about. So House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I love everything Riley Sager has ever written. Somehow his thrillers just completely suck me in every time. I think the lowest I've ever rated a Riley Sager book was like 3.5. So this one takes place at a lake. So this actress ends up being widowed. She moves to a lake house and she begins spying on the neighbors, and they seem to have this like perfect idealistic marriage. And then one day the wife ends up going missing, and our main character realizes their marriage might have had some issues. So it just sounds really fun, and like I said, takes place on a lake, and it just sounds like a perfect summer thriller read. So I am so excited to pick that up when it releases in June. All right, guys, those are all the books I plan on reading in June. Please let me know down in the comments below if you're planning on reading any of these books. Which ones are you most excited about? Now, I said this already, I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I will see you all next week. Bye.